Triumph Racing has another confirmed rider for 2024. Hey, welcome back to Vinyl MX. I'm your host, Michael Lindsay. And as always, any of our news break features, rumor mill features, they are brought to you by our fine friends at Yoshimura R&D of America. Check them out at yoshimura-rd.com. Yes, if you've been checking out our site or any of our videos here on YouTube, we've been doing a little bit of information on silly season. We actually did a 250 silly season rumor mill kind of roundup about 2 weeks ago. So the rider we're about to talk about should not be a surprise. He was listed in there. But however, we've been kind of waiting to see what's going on with Triumph Racing. We always knew it'd be a little bit of a slog waiting for it because most rider contracts run through the end of September. We're getting close to that date, so we will see a slew of official confirmed announcements on October 1st that will match up with a lot of what we've been talking about the past few weeks. But in this case, this is one rider that didn't quite have to adhere to that due to his current contract situation. That is Joey Savatgy. Again, based on Triumph's rollout video from 2 weeks ago with riders on the bike. We had Ricky Carmichael and Evan Ferry kind of clearing up the rumor that Evan Ferry would be involved with the project, that he will be riding for them next year. Some form of SX Futures into Supercross deal. That isn't quite clear yet. Joey is the first confirmed full pro to be on the program. Again, the speculation has been there. Joey Savatgy, is good friends with Carmichael, and Carmichael's actual agency or agent J.H. Leal's involved with the program, so we kind of saw the early connections. Also, Joey fits the mold of so far every rider linked to the program for racing in the U.S. being a former rider of Bobby Hewitt's. Bobby Hewitt, of course, is the team principal and team manager of this program, and a lot of people forget that Joey Savatgy raced for Bobby back in 2014 on Rockstar KTMs. Yes, the same year that Jason Anderson won a 250 Supercross regional title. Joey's on that program, but he was injured for quite a bit of the year, so that one slipped some people's minds a little bit here and there. Yes, so Joey has confirmed last night on Steve Mathis's Pulp MX show. They had him on as a co-host. Everybody's been teasing him on Twitter constantly. Even Steve was like, yep, you're riding Triumph. We've, again, had content. He keeps saying, nope, you guys are full of it. Don't know where you get your sources.
Back to the question, though.
I'm just saying
what you're going to do.
Why the rule
so
is...
You've ridden the Triumph. You've ridden the Triumph. Carmichael's your buddy.
You should fire your sources.
You are going to do Triumph, skip Soupy, 250 motocross for Triumph, and I imagine the 450 will be ready in 2025, and you'll jump on a 450.
You fire your guy.
What else? What else do you got lined up? What else are you gonna do?
Ask Kiefer what he thinks I got lined up.
What do you think he should do? What? Kiefer's got a head down. He's just drawing right now.
No, it's a 2-year deal with Triumph. Motocross next year, 450 the following.
So are you being serious?
Yeah.
Yeah, he finally admitted it's true. It just, contractual situations can't talk about to a certain point. But he has announced that, yes, in fact, he has signed a 2-year contract with Triumph Racing, which, again, was something that was kind of expected because he's also in a unique situation with his eligibility in certain racing series. So Joey, before the 250 Supercross point-out rule changed about a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, back when he was on 250, he technically pointed out, even though he never won a title, he had scored enough points consecutive years that he was bumped out of the class, became a full-time 450 guy. We watched him ride for Monster Energy Kawasaki, JGR Suzuki, amongst other teams. That's why Joey has been unable to drop down to a 250 to take on some actual opportunities that would be there for him. Triumph Racing has looked into possibly petitioning AMA, but as of right now, based on initial discussions, I don't think they would allow him to drop down. So his deal right now is for 250 Pro Motocross in 2024, and then he will be on their all-new 450, which is planned to come out for 2025. So he would race 450 Supercross and 450 Pro Motocross in 25. Of course, add in the Super Motocross playoff series in both years. But next year, unless something changes, unless they have a successful petition, we will not see him race 250 Supercross on the bike because he is literally not eligible. They will not allow him to do it. If they do accept his petition, then yes, he could bump down and ride that class. Other options in the meantime, just help the team with continued development on the 250. They could get a head start on some 450 Supercross development. He could even potentially ride the 250 in the 450 class at some Supercrosses, although Steve threw that out last night and Joey was completely unaware that you could legally do that and didn't seem that interested also, which I understand. racing. And even though lap time wise, they run similar lap times, when you actually have to race a 250 against a 450 in Supercross, all it takes is the 450 guys parking you in every corner and still being able to 3 in when you can't on the 250. And it just gets frustrating very quickly. That's why we only see privateers usually do on opposite coast to make a little money to just try to make the night show or something. It's pretty difficult to actually go racing against them indoors on the disadvantage of being on the little bike. But again, so this puts us in position where officially we know that Evan Ferry and Joey Savatgy are on the team. The unofficials are Jalek Swall and Michael Mosiman. We know Jalek is locked in at this point. He did an interview with us recently where he said his future's handled for next year, and we know it's not. Rockstar Husqvarna. Again, Jalek is another ex-Bobby Hewitt guy. Evan Ferry, another ex-Bobby Hewitt guy. We got a trend going here. Now, the interesting one we found out last week is we've been saying that Michael Mosiman is heavily linked to the project as well, and we actually thought that was a done deal. Based on some information from some other teams that have spoken to him recently, that is not a done deal. Now, with Joey not being able to race Supercross, if they can't get that across the finish line, we do think that's a position that Michael will potentially fill or could potentially fill, because at this point, that really only leaves the team with Jalek confirmed to ride Supercross. Again, Evan's got to do some SX Futures to get his license or something. They could also petition. Joey doesn't, like I said, isn't eligible. I don't see a project that has spent this many millions of dollars to go racing with one guy in Supercross. So we'll see what happens with Mosiman's situation. Again, anything like this won't be announced until October 1st anyways, because Jalek is currently under contract with the Rockstar Energy Husqvarna squad and the TLD side for Michael Mosiman. So that's the latest. Really cool that, again, Joey went on the show, was super open about what's going on, talked a little bit about riding the bike. He actually had some pretty frank answers. Didn't go into a ton of detail, but, shared bike was good. He's been on it, how he kind of got involved, etc. So it's really cool to see that openness and honesty out there. Normally with some guys' contract lengths and who they're riding for, that isn't totally possible. For some reason, motocross seems to be one of the only motorsports in the world that seems to have these gag clauses on these guys, where NASCAR, F1, MotoGP, you can basically announce who you're riding for the year before you go there. But nope, not in this sport. Zip flips, man. So again, cool Joey. He is finishing out this year with Rick Ware Racing for World Supercross. So he still has 2 races to do for those guys coming up in November, one of them in Abu Dhabi and the other round in Melbourne, Australia. If you actually want to hear more about what's going on with the World Supercross series, we threw up a podcast on our podcast network last week. So you can check that out by searching Vital MX on those, and you can hear from Adam Bailey about what is going on exactly since they've got new investors, what their plans are, etc. So if you like these news break features, please thumbs up, like, subscribe. Really appreciate it. You have any questions about what's going on in Triumph Racing, if there's maybe some information that we can clear up for you, throw them in the comments section below. Thanks for watching.